So many people want to know why the heirs of the Bruce family sold the property that their attorneys, congresspeople, and community members worked so hard to transfer back to the family. And while that's a better question for the direct parties involved, today on The Goodness of Wealth, we're going to talk about the generational wealth implications of their decision. Welcome to Bruce's Beach. Right now I'm in Manhattan Beach at the park that was dedicated to the Bruce family. It's called Bruce's Park, and the beach is down that way.
If you're not familiar with the history of Bruce's Beach, go ahead and click the link in the caption below for a summarized history. Here you can see a map of the property that was included in the 1924 to 1929 condemnation proceedings, where the city of Manhattan Beach used eminent domain to kick the Bruces off of their property. On this map, you can see the two parcels of land that the Bruce family owned. You can also see, as indicated by the blue rectangles, the parts of the land that were actually structures. Today, this land is zoned for public use only. Take a look. It's literally on the beach. Many people questioned why the family would sell land in a city where the average value of a home is more than $2 million. But Bruce's Beach in 2023 is not the same real estate as Bruce's Beach in 1912. Since the property is not zoned for development, they can't put a building on the land and create a resort like their family members did. And if they wanted to, they'd have to go through years-long permitting fight with the city, environmentalist groups, and others just to start building on the land. Today, the multiple descendants of the Bruce family leased the land to LA County under a 24-month lease. They received $413,000 a year for the county to operate a lifeguard station. But what happens if the county doesn't extend the lease? What if the county doesn't extend the lease and there aren't any real estate developers who want to buy land zoned for public use? When we consider the real estate factors specific to Bruce's Beach, we can understand the difficult decision to keep or sell the property. Hopefully, the Bruce family did what any business person should do when pursuing an investment opportunity. They ran the numbers. First, let's say LA County extended their lease indefinitely and continued to pay the Bruce family $413,000 per year. If the Bruce family invested the proceeds every year and factored in inflation and taxes, it would take approximately 4 decades for that annual investment to grow to $20 million. This doesn't even consider property tax and other costs to own the land. Now, let's say they sold the land for $20 million, which they did, and invested the proceeds for 4 decades, which we don't know if that's what they're going to do. By 2063, which is 4 decades, that $20 million would grow to almost $100 million, considering taxes and inflation. When you consider these numbers, plus each family member's current stage in life, their family financial history, and their historical relationship with the government, which investment opportunity would you choose? Now, if you're a seasoned investor, there's probably one thing you're thinking that's going to make or break your decision, and that's taxes. When you scroll through social media, several posts assume the family sold the land because the property taxes were too high, but that's likely not the case. The legislation that was passed to transfer the property to the Bruce family specifically states that the land would not be assessed for property tax at its current value. So yes, the family did have to pay property tax, but the property tax wasn't anything insurmountable. Not only did the legislation limit the property tax, it also exempted the transfer of property from state income tax. But before you get too excited, know that that special exemption only applied to the first property transfer. It's likely that the income from the second transaction, during which the family sold the property back to LA County for proceeds of $20 million, that will be subject to both federal and state income tax. The cool thing is, the family can take advantage of tax-saving strategies that allow them to build generational wealth. They can do 1031 exchanges or invest in opportunity zones. They can also look into estate planning entities like creating a charitable remainder trust. There are so many factors the family had to consider. And here's the thing. When Manhattan Beach took this property away from the Bruce family in the 1920s, they took away their American dream. They took away almost 100 years of profit, 100 years of employment opportunities, 100 years of tax-saving strategies like selling qualified small business stock maybe, or intra-family loans and other strategies specific to family businesses. 100 years of wealth. The descendants of the Bruce family now have the opportunity to create their own American dream. Maybe their dream isn't to own beachfront property. Maybe they want to own a multi-family property in the state where they reside. Maybe they want to invest in other businesses. Maybe they want to put their kids through college. Yes, they may have gone against the grain by selling grandma's house, but if they make the right investment, financial, and estate planning choices, they can continue grandma's legacy.